catch a cheater. It's finally out in the open. Crikey, we're in the wild and we're trying to catch the ever-elusive cheetah who seems to thrive on Tinder. Well, that kind of went a little British from Australian, but you get the point. To catch a cheater is the name of the game, and David seems to be the one that is doing the most wrong. But first, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends, and if you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. I definitely appreciate all the support. It's getting real with Married at First Sight, and David's starting to flip the script and look like the real villain. But before we get to the madness that is that, let's get to where Madison and Allan are right now, which is not a very good place, and Allan keeps putting his foot in his mouth. I don't think he meant too much of wrong, really, but that doesn't mean what he said was right.
Which is a big factor of, like, compatibility, so it's like...
Yes, right.
So I'm totally open to, like, that. Like, I'm not scared of it at all, so...
Good.
Talking about intimacy here. So they're talking about, hey, are you open to doing this card game that Dr. Pia has, which has an interesting name, but we'll just leave it at that. If you watch the episode, you know. But they have a game to play which kind of shows what they like intimate-wise, and she says she's open to that, which is interesting considering that she has been pretty closed off with showing that she has any real feelings or any attraction to Allan whatsoever.
How can I know that you're in the mood to play?
Tap me on the shoulder.
Yes. How can I know? Well, you'd have to light some candles. You really gotta finesse me and you gotta romance. He's just like what, pretty much most guys are thinking. Is it a Monday? Is it any day, Sunday to Saturday at any time whatsoever? Then yes. Allan said the quiet part out loud. Now, Allan decides it's a good time to tell Madison what he thought of her in that first 24 hours of being together. He should have known right then and there, probably not such a good idea.
I enjoy that emotional connection, which I think that's you.
No. But...
At the beginning, I thought it was much more of a superficial, kind of like...
Whenever you're searching for the word, it's probably, rein it in, buddy, rein it in.
The word that I'm going to use is not right. I just can't think of anything else.
Right then, he should have said, so I'm not going to say anything. If you have to say that the word I'm going to say is not right, but I can't think of anything else, dude, it's not going to be good, my friend.
Okay.
So don't take offense to this.
Okay.
That's like saying, no offense, and then completely saying something that's offensive. Whenever someone says something to someone that is, and they lead in by saying, oh, by the way, no offense, then it's always offensive every single time. That's the funny part. Now, of course, if you're just like, whatever, I couldn't care less what people say about me, so, good for you. But it's just kind of funny that whenever that happens in public, that's, it's never a good thing. So same kind of concept here.
I'll do my best.
Like transactional?
Oh, God. Oh, Allan, my God. I got to recover from that one, buddy. Transactional? Now, this is the thing. It goes a different direction, but the reality is what he meant was something completely different than how it sounds. When you hear transactional, when you're talking about intimacy, that usually sounds like, I don't know, the trades, the Nightwalker trades. I'm trying to be very nice here. That's what that sounds like. That sounds like you are doing something, getting something, and giving something in return. In this case, we're talking about intimacy. You put two and two together. Either way, it's not a good sound. Really and he tries to explain through this whole thing, is that what he really meant is just the way her, vibe is with clubbing and everything. It seems like it's not as meaningful, and in reality, it really is, and it means a lot to her, and she's all about the intimacy. So, but poor way of going about it, Allan.
Maybe it would have been fair to say, I can see how somebody would think this of you, but by getting to know you, blah, 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 blah.
It only gets worse. So then trying to explain it and becoming more of an over-explain, I should have said I could see how someone would see this about you. That doesn't sound good either. Buddy, at this point, you are better off just saying, I'm sorry. What I said was not good. In fact, it might have been downright dumb. And I apologize for that. I don't know what I was thinking. I was, shot with a little bit of dementia. It's weird. I don't remember a thing. I don't care what you say, but right now you trying to double down and explain it is not going well.
Just being taken seriously, and like nobody thinks I've worked as hard as I have. Like nobody thinks that I deserve what I've gotten in my life.
Now, it needs to be pointed out that she took it a whole different direction. So she went my looks. I look this way, and so you think that makes it so any kind of intimacy is transactional. He did explain that what he was saying was that she likes to club, that she likes to go out, that the way she dances all comes off as erotic, if you will, and it seems like that she would just be okay with casual intimacy. That's the route he was going with it. But she took it as, I look a certain way, you don't think I could have gotten somewhere in my life. I couldn't have a job, I couldn't be successful. So what he said was dumb. But two things can be true at once. One he said was dumb, and she went in a whole different direction that is not what he meant. So not good. This is where communication breakdown happens. When you don't have communication, when you can't talk, and when you can't accept what you did was wrong and kind of correct in some way, or if you can't try to understand what the person was saying and be like, I don't like how you said it. It kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, but I do understand you don't think I am having transactional encounters, if you will. So it just didn't go well all around, and it really highlighted their communication issues.
Here, I don't think we're starting from ground zero, but it's definitely not a positive
big step
way
back.
I would have liked to end the night.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of time left, like until decision day, where it's like, this is one of the most important decisions I'll make in my life. Like,
yeah, but let's go ahead and be real that she's already made up her mind. She said over and over and over she's not attracted to Allan. She's already made up her mind, and really it seems like there's more with one of the other people with her than there is with Allan. And that's unfortunate, because I maintain what I said is that had they worked out some of these kinks, had she been able to get over her barriers, had he been able to not put his foot in his mouth so much and communicate better, they could have been great. They could have been. But unfortunately, the decision has already really been made. And if she hasn't accepted that yet and says, we only have so much time, you're not going to have a coming to God moment and decide you want to stay with Allan. You're just not. And that's unfortunate. It really is. But they are not at a good place. We will see how all of that turns out. It's not looking good right now, though. Now, David and Michelle continue to have many, many, many problems, and the saga of David lying about a text message that he claims to have sent to his cousin, which is really weird because of the content, that whole saga deepens. And now they're with the girls and they're with the boys. It's interesting to see what David tells the boys and what Michelle tells the girls.
That was for another girl.
I text somebody, which was my cousin.
Okay.
And she
Already he's lying to them too.
sent me a picture with food or whatnot, and I said, damn, it looks so good, I want to eat you up.
No. Damn, it looks so good, I want to eat you up. Now, he is completely misrepresented. For one, he's lying to them. For two, he's saying casual, it just said this, it just said this. Well, he's telling that to the boys. Now, if these were good friends, because this is the thing about men who have a close circle of friends who, the guys they hang out with, it's funny because you see all these videos all the time with like what your wife, girlfriend, whatever thinks of what's happening with the boys, and it's like he's hitting on every girl around, and then it's like what is actually happening. It's just they're doing some stupid stunts, and they're like, yeah, or they're just throwing a basketball at half court and making it, and they're like, yeah, that because that's all it is. We're just hanging out with the guys. But the other thing, a lot of things that people don't know, or especially that women don't know as much about men, is that you think that a lot of times it's that they back their boys no matter what. They got their back, they're going to cover for them, all this. That's not necessarily true. At face value, your boys got your back. But we hold men accountable. Like our friends, we hold each other accountable. We fight all the time. The thing is we can fight with our friends, have an actual fight and then be cool the next minute because that's what we do to solve conflict. It's the same with seeing one of your friends is lying. Say, nah, dude, you're lying. That doesn't sound right at all. And so if they were real friends, you would see that kind of call out here. Unfortunately, they don't know each other as well, so you may not have that same concept. But it should happen, and it should be questioned.
Your friends, I can see it from a certain, like an objective point of view. But I mean, at a certain point, like that's.
So
And there you go. See, at least Allan had the the balls, if you will, to say, at some point, and he's not even really friendly. So at least that's about as close as you're going to get to holding him accountable. If you are with a really close circle of friends and they're really good friends with you, they may say, "No, man, ain't no big deal in public, but behind closed doors, man, you messed up. What the hell were you thinking?" We hold each other accountable. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be happening here, and he's just doing whatever he wants, lying however he wants, and quite frankly, he's looking like the bad guy here and making Michelle look like the okay person, which is really difficult to do because she was really bad for most of the season.
No, I think he was helping you look for your phone.
Oh,
Well,
he was doing what?
when my phone was stolen, I don't really pay attention though. Like,
And that is the cheating scandal. To catch a cheater, it's finally out in the open. We have the whole situation here. When that whole thing happened, he was texting when he was out with all these other people. Michelle just wasn't there that night. But now, Carla calls out, not even thinking about it. Wasn't he helping you find your phone? Wasn't he helping you with your phone? So he was there spending time with you. That makes me think that while they were there at some point, he's like to Madison saying what he said. Then he gets caught because he sends it to the wrong person, maybe because they start with an M. Either way, it's starting to see the cracks of, is it Madison that David has the affair with, that they swap with? That's what I've thought from the beginning. But we're going to see if that all plays out. Either way, Michelle should be calling this out right now, and that she didn't is kind of crazy.
if you really want the truth from him, like that's sometimes I feel like how people feel the most comfortable sharing is it's like, just tell me, like just be honest.
Oh, so softball it. Now, she's not softballing anything with Allan, but yet you need to go ahead, Michelle. You need to softball everything with David. Makes you think that maybe she's trying to help David out for some reason, perhaps?
Seeing other women and meeting them for coffee.
Ah.
Yes.
You busted me.
Why is that? Why are you chuckling?
Exactly.
The reason I'm chuckling is because that the woman that I went to go see is dating another individual. She's in a relationship.
Oh, okay.
Who cares if they're in a relationship?
Well done. Credit where it is due for my man Pastor Cal here, who I have plenty of criticisms with. So he tries to explain it to say, this girl I had coffee with, she was, she's dating someone else. For one thing, no one believes you, so you could just be lying about that. Even if it is true, why does that make it okay for you to meet up with people you met on Tinder, the hookup site, and just to have coffee with? Is her man okay with that too? Why would your wife be okay with that? And he says it perfectly. Who cares? Exactly. David thinks he's going to explain this away, and that's where he really starts to be looking more and more guilty.
I know you keep saying it to lead it, but there is a way. You're just choosing not to.
Yeah. He says he's choosing to not ask his cousin to get basically the evidence showing that he's telling the truth.
I'm choosing not to write.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why?
Why?
Because I'll be completely honest with you, and during this,
I'll be completely honest. I'm going to completely flip everything around and try to push it off on her to get the focus off of me.
during this process, no, the whole lifestyle thing.
Oh,
and
okay.
Here, like you kind of like I'm not this and that, and been really tough, Michelle. And I've had.
None of what he says matters. So this is the problem. I was riding with him with the whole she is being extremely critical. Now it's not even a real representation anymore what it was before. It was him being truthful and honest about you're really criticizing for no reason. Now he's using it as a weapon. So what he's doing, and he's flipping it around and saying, I don't want to do this because you, Michelle, you are the one doing this to me. Sorry, you lost all credibility, and your argument makes no sense. You're not going to call up your cousin. You got to see how that sounds crazy. Even if y'all had trust, she would be like, that sounds crazy. Why are you saying you're going to eat your cousin because she sent you food? Like, what are you even talking about? And then you try to flip it to say, well, it's because of you, Michelle. You did this to me. This is the reason I don't want to prove what I'm saying. None of it makes sense, and it just makes him look even worse, like the worst kind of liar. And I'm starting to wonder that it's more than just I got caught. I don't know her well enough, so I don't want to come out with the truth, and that he might be just a really bad liar. She's bad, but he might be bad in relationships too, and it's starting to look more and more like that.
Because she has the text string.
Bring her in.
You have your cell phone with you?
I do, but
You're not going to call your cousin?
No, I'm not. This is my marriage. I'm not going to get her involved in something of that.
I'm not going to get her involved, even though I did it already. The second you said that she sent you a message, she was involved. And now you're saying you're not going to get her involved. This is the crap and the lies, the web of lies that is being spun, and it's just getting deeper and deeper. He's got a shovel, he's digging a hole, and just when you think you've hit rock bottom, you somehow find a way to dig that hole deeper. And that's what he's doing right now. He's riding with the lie, he's dying with the lie, and that's what he's doing. But eventually, you know what that does? It backs you into a corner, makes it so much worse, it comes out anyway, and all it does is make you look 3,000 times worse than if you had just said, yeah, I messed up. This is what I did.
Prove it. Prove it.
Yeah. What?
Does she have the photo?
Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know.
He's just doing la, 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 la. I can't hear you. La, 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 la. That's all he's doing right now. He's confronted over and over again. And he's just hoping that it just disappears, that she lets it go and it moves on. And eventually, when she continues to press, he just says, oh, actually, I got to go to work. And he jets up out of there. So looking really, really guilty. And we're going to grab some other clips of this when we do the live show on Wednesday, but it's not looking good for them. And, you know, she, like I said, she's bad. But right now, David's looking a lot worse than Michelle is, and that's hard to do. Now, Camille and Thomas continue to move forward, and probably the only couple that even has a shot.
I feel like I'm a giver sexually too. Like I like to please her, so
that's
I
nice.
give.
Okay.
And she asked him like what he likes, and all he's got is, I'm a giver. I like to give. I like giving. Okay, that's fantastic, but elaborate a little bit, Mr. Thomas. So I think he's a little uncomfortable with these conversations, and, you know, who could blame him? For one, you're on national TV, and you're talking about your intimate life. So if you're already kind of a reserved person, it's not easy.
Or like get a little more wild, hair pulling.
Oh, tell them how you really feel.
And stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm also not someone who just like comes out the gate like, yeah, pull my hair. You know, like it does have to be
close.
At a certain level of emotional connection too. It's just once I kind of like.
Oh, okay. So she's really saying what she likes, but you can't come out of the gate and just pull my hair. We got to have that emotional connection before I say, all right, now you can pull my hair. This relationship is going to be interesting.
That you had to performing world.
No,
not apprehension.
Oh, okay.
To me, that symbolizes something way deeper.
Oh.
Or, yeah, like a deeper connection from me even. Like.
That's an interesting thing she just said right there, talking about certain acts of intimacy, because he did those certain acts of intimacy on her, but she didn't have a problem with the closeness at that point when he was doing it. But when it comes to her doing it, it's a closeness thing. Little bit of contradiction there, Camille. Oh no, you've awakened the beast.
Why?
He's got. Why?
I'm so nice to you.
He said, I'm so nice to you. She told him to shut up. Listen, if you haven't realized it yet, Thomas, you kind of got a dominatrix here who's just, I hope you're okay with being dominated, because that's what she wants, and that's pretty clear. She did make some points to say that she'll like for him to take control too, and that's probably accurate. But I would venture to say she probably likes to be in control most of the time. So it's progressing with them, so that's good. Now, Juan and Carla had an interesting date night with this, because not only did they have tantric yoga, but the instructor was interesting. And I'm wondering if she was trying to hook up with Juan there.
And let's release those emotions.
Yes, release our emotions.
The negative
This is great.
thoughts. Let's choose to vibrate.
This right
high
here is a good
and lead
representation.
with love always.
See, this one right here is a really good representation of the differences between men and women. So, with women, you know, we're having this emotional, we're having a sound bath, we're talking about how to release our inner, you know, feelings and emotions. And the guys are like, hey, let's get out some of this frustration. We're going to go boxing. And yeah, that's a great indication of how things typically are. Now, there are differences. Not everyone's the same. There's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all. Different people like different things. But yes, men typically like to do those kind of things, those more active activities, to be able to de-stress, to be able to, get out some aggression. Just like the gym. The gym isn't just the gym. The gym working out and everything, that's therapy. That is therapy. And, a lot of times that's the kind of stuff that men like. And women tend to like to be getting in touch more with their emotional side. This also shows why men and women complement each other so well. Because when it comes to men, the aggression, the, wanting to be super active, that comes when you have a good woman with you who can kind of calm that down when it's a little much. Just like when a woman tends to be a little more emotional, the man can come in and kind of be like, all right, let's kind of fix this. And can kind of go with that mindset of how can we fix something. That's why when you have a marriage, it can really be a fantastic thing and can be just something where you can conquer the world when you have a family. Unfortunately, this show does not know that, and we don't really see any of that working out because none of them are really compatible.
Connects you on a more intimate level, like the eye connection, like the like eye gazing, like
eye
the
gazing.
physical
Okay,
touch.
they're talking about doing tantric yoga, and the problem is she's talking about the eye gazing. He hasn't really shown that he wants to have any kind of touch with you, let alone do some kind of eye gazing. So I don't know how much this is going to get y'all close. And there's a reason why it even becomes more awkward than that.
Hello.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Who the hell did they order as the instructor, and where on earth are her clothes? Does she know that the tantric session is supposed to get the couple closer? I think she thought she was supposed to be part of it. My God, lady, you wore your nightie. You wore a teddy. What is this? Is there anything underneath? This is not good.
And we're going to gently caress his body using these roses. And
what are you doing? Okay.
So
why on earth is she rubbing that rose on his junk? Because that's not Carla. That's the tantric lady.
Anywhere and anywhere with the roses.
Like, if he's not uncomfortable right now, then something is seriously wrong. Because that lady, she's getting too... seriously, let all jokes aside, does she get away with this in her practice? I mean, are people like, yeah, lady, random lady, I don't know that I'm taking a tantric yoga lesson from you. Rub that on my junk.
Breathing like that, oh.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's something I'm not used to. It's something that's a little bit.
She is blowing on
for
him.
me.
He is just uncomfortable. She is literally blowing on him. I mean, come on. You cannot tell me that is not highly inappropriate. I mean, what did they do? The show ordered this? Did the show know who the instructor was? Did they know that the instructor escaped from the insane asylum for elderly people? There's something seriously wrong here.
It feels comfortable, but it just doesn't feel like he's taking it seriously.
He's not. He's just having a good laugh about it, and he's laughing and like, oh yeah, which, I mean, I'd probably laugh about it, but when you're trying to get to know someone, you're trying to be on that more intimate level, and they've shown that they want to be more intimate, then yeah, it's probably not going to sit well with them, so probably not the right place, Juan, to do all that. Now, Akechi and MM continue to struggle, and God knows why they are still even in this marriage, and they haven't just gotten divorced yet, because this is pointless. Akechi has no interest in being here. MM is trying. Clearly, she wants it to work on some level, but he's not even putting forth even a minor effort. And for a guy who tried to write a book about his future wife, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing, nor does he care, nor is he a good person. He just doesn't come off as one.
It's been some time.
Yeah, this is kind of awkward. Trying to go backwards.
Who would have thought?
And get to know each other when it's something that we should have done from day one.
She wanted to do it from day one. You're the one that didn't want to answer a damn question or talk about anything in the future. And now you're going to say we should have done this from day one? Like, this is projection on a whole nother level. He's trying to divert. Projection isn't the term for this. He is absolutely continuing to gaslight her. He is the epitome of gaslighting. You look at gaslighting in the dictionary, you have Akechi right there, basically saying what you're doing is wrong, even though he's been the one doing it all along. Diverting the attention and putting it on her, and starting to make her think, what could she have done better? Which is just completely wrong on so many levels.
You opted out of your ring today?
I take it off when I wash dishes. I just
Oh,
forgot to put it back on.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
No, you didn't. You're absolutely lying right there. You took it off. You've already checked out. You've been checked out. You have no interest in this relationship. You've said it over and over and over again without outright saying it and accusing her of all these things that, you know, quite frankly, is just you trying to divert and get out of the situation. So, no, you took off the ring because you wanted to, and now you're lying about it, about dishes or something. Give me a break, dude. Come on. And then on top of that, he busts out a deck of cards and says, all right, have you ever played blackjack? You got to get to 21. So if you're thinking, hey, maybe, you know, he's trying to make some game out of it so they can get to know each other better. Maybe draw your card once you get above 10. You got to ask me a question. I got to ask you a question if I get to 21. You would be wrong, because no, he just busts out a deck of cards and said, want to play blackjack? Good date, Ike.
Yeah, I mean, the hard part is this is my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, and work on it in ways that you wouldn't with just a normal. Because obviously, if it was just dating, it would have been.
And that's the thing, he wants to date. Little does he know he wouldn't have got a second one.
Right, exactly.
But this is the problem. He is showing time and time again he does not value you even a little bit. And you're still treating it like a marriage because it is a marriage. But you're the only one treating it as such. She would be better off just going and saying, I want a divorce now, cutting him loose. Doesn't matter if he's okay with it or not. Save yourself from going through the rest of the 2 or 3 weeks. For what? It's just going to be more stress and more stuff you don't need. Get out now. There's no reason to be in it. All of this is heading to just a giant train hitting a brick wall because none of them are looking positive right now. The only ones that are looking like maybe is the same one I've been saying, which is Thomas and Camille. Possibly. The rest of them are heading for an epic disaster. Akechi and MM are headed for divorce no matter what. Madison, Michelle, David, and Allan look like they're going to be doing the old switcheroo, which should be interesting and fun. And Juan and Carla have absolutely no chemistry. So what's going to happen there? All of them are going to break up, and we're going to have some entertainment in the process because we're going to have the first ever couple switch, apparently, which is, you know, no one could have seen coming, but we will see how the madness unfolds. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends, and if you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. I appreciate it. Tune into the live show Wednesdays at 8, and I will see y'all next time.